are live on the floor of the Global Technology Leaders Summit in Menlo Park, and I'm here with Greg Becker, President and CEO of Silicon Valley Bank. And Greg, you just finished delivering a very interesting keynote titled The Disruptors and the Disruptive. You made the point that disruption is happening everywhere and that the disruption that is upon us right now is unprecedented. What did you mean by that?
So I think there's a lot of different factors that are coming into play. One is there's smartphones everywhere, technology is happening, everyone has a smartphone, my kids have smartphones. Yeah. I was showing my daughter my presentation, she's like, well, I know just Uber, I know Snapchat, I know Twitter, she's like, I know all these companies. And I think that's just one example where it's never really happened before. So when you look at these businesses, take Uber or Airbnb, they're transforming historical businesses in a way that we could have never expected it. And it's happening all over the place. So I do think it's unprecedented and it's really exciting to be part of it.
Sure. So how does Silicon Valley Bank help its clients both to embrace disruption but also to identify and embrace disruptive technologies? How do you do that?
Yeah. So one is, so as an example, we have our CIO and CTO, they do an incredible amount of work with startups vetting their technology in our data centers to basically say, how can we help them be successful? That's one example. Another example would be with fintech companies, right? So payments companies, lending companies, we're part of their platform. So we become part of their infrastructure to help them make it easier to do their business, right? To create the disruption. So if we can be part of that, it's better for our clients, and it actually is great for our business as well. And the third part is, we spend a lot of time, much like this conference, connecting our clients with other disruptors so they can share ideas, almost kind of that open source idea, so they can help each other be more successful. So they're kind of three examples of how we really help facilitate innovation.
Okay, great. So looking at all the changes we've seen in the market over the last couple of years, things are certainly rebounding. The fundamentals are very strong. You talked about a lot of those fundamentals in your session. How has the financing for startups changed in the last couple of years? Are there many changes that have gone about?
Yeah, so I mean, as an example, as a proxy, our loan portfolio, if you go back to 2009, right, we had about $4 billion worth of loans. Today it's approaching $12 billion. So if you look at us being a proxy for financing this growth, we've grown significantly. Clearly venture capital has grown significantly over that time period as well. We're going to hit probably the second best year in history next to 2000 from a funding. So I think all those bode well from a financing. It's different because these private companies are getting much, much, much bigger and still staying private. They're looking at working capital financing, acquisition financing, and we're part of that. So yeah, it's changed a lot, but it's also very exciting.
Okay, great. I understand that you've been a champion, certainly, of the innovation economy here in Silicon Valley, but globally for roughly 20 years now. How would you describe the current mood here in Silicon Valley right now, but I think for the tech sector in general?
Yeah, so it's so great, right? We did an informal poll internally about, do people think it's a bubble or is this a new paradigm? And after we argued the points, there was still many more people that were arguing it's a different paradigm. And I think that level of optimism, excitement, and energy is just so different in Silicon Valley compared to almost any other market. Yep. And that's one thing we have that really no one else has. And so I think that facilitates this disruption and innovation in a really unique way. It's starting to happen around the world, but still, Silicon Valley is an amazing place.
Okay, again, that was Greg Becker, President and CEO of Silicon Valley Bank. Greg, thank you.
Thank you.